thermal fluid sciences experts. This is Pro Ready Engineer.
Hello, this is Bassam Abdelnabi from Pro Ready Engineer. I'm excited to share a new video series featuring industry cases. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. Take care and talk to you soon.
All right, let's jump right in. We had a major aerospace client come to us with a really critical upgrade they needed, a new 12-port emissions sampling system. Sounds straightforward, right? Well, their project hit a massive wall, like right out of the gate. The first proposal they got wasn't just a budget concern, it was a full-blown bottleneck that was about to derail their entire program.
So what was the challenge? Well, on paper, it seemed pretty simple. They needed to route 12 different exhaust samples into an emissions analyzer. And of course, it had to be perfectly accurate. But that first quote, man, it just threw a wrench in the whole works. It turned what should have been a standard upgrade into a massive headache from day one. And here's the first big number. We're talking $80,000 just for the system. Now, if you're an engineering manager, you know exactly what happens when a quote like that lands on your desk for a single piece of equipment. It's a showstopper. Red flags go up everywhere, and a project can just die right there.
But wait, there's more. As if the cost wasn't bad enough, check out this timeline. A 4-month lead time. You know, that's 16 weeks. In the world of aerospace testing where every day counts, a delay like that is just, it's a non-starter. Their whole schedule was completely at risk.
So you're probably asking, why? Why so expensive? Why so long?
Well, it all came down to this one single flawed assumption. The initial design was based on the idea that every single inch of the 120-foot sampling lines had to be actively heated. The thinking was, you had to prevent any condensation that could mess with the NOx readings. And this is where things get interesting. This is where we came in. Instead of just rubber stamping that complex design, we took a step back and asked a really simple but powerful question, the kind of question every good engineer should ask. Is this really necessary? Do we actually need this super complex, super expensive heating system?
So, we did what any good engineering team would do. We went and mapped the entire system path. And what we found was pretty incredible. The assumption was they needed 120 feet of heated line. But the reality? Almost all of that line was already running through a heated, insulated test bay. The only part that was actually exposed was, get this, a tiny 6-foot section.
Now, of course, a discovery like that is great, but you have to prove it, right? So we ran a controlled test. We measured the emissions with and without heat on just that little 6-foot section. And the results? Absolutely definitive. The NOx, the CO, the CO2 measurements, they were 100% identical. I mean, down to the decimal point. It proved it. That whole complex heating system was totally unnecessary.
Okay, so what does an insight like that actually mean for the client? Well, let's talk about the impact. First up, the cost. That $80,000 nightmare, we replaced it with a much simpler, way more elegant solution that came in at just $30,000. That's a 62% cost reduction right there. We saved them almost $50,000 on a single unit.
And the timeline? The impact there was just as huge. Remember that unacceptable 16-week lead time? We cut it clean in half. We delivered a fully validated, ready-to-go system in just 8 weeks. That got their entire test program right back on schedule. No more delays.
So let's just break down the bottom line here. The system was 62% cheaper. It was delivered in half the time, just 8 weeks. And this is the most important part. We did it all while retaining 100% measurement accuracy. There was zero compromise. That's a win on every single metric that matters to a program manager. This whole project really drives home a key lesson for us. It's all about challenging those core assumptions. By questioning that one idea, that the entire line needed to be heated, we delivered a system that was faster, simpler, and frankly, more reliable, all for a fraction of the cost. It just goes to show you, sometimes the biggest innovations come from asking the simplest questions.